Hey
Yeah,
everyone, welcome back to another episode of Fed Up with me, the eternal miserable one, Fed Up Gaz. Joining me today is Gero from the German death sludge doom band Greh. And how is it going this evening, sir?
it's really nice this evening. It's The day is too short for me, but I
Yeah,
also like the long dark nights,
yeah,
cold nights here in Germany.
yeah.
Yes,
Same here, man. I can relate to that. Being in the north myself, where daylight tends to end stupidly early.
yes,
Yeah, probably why we like extreme music. We're used to that darkness.
yes, that's true.
There's, you know, I was just chatting with you there for a moment before we went live, and I was hyper and excited about your music already. Um, the thing I noticed just in the sound is, as I mentioned, I can hear that Death Doom vibe from Autopsy mixed with some sludge as well. It's like you have combined doom, death metal, and sludge all together. Thick, crushing riffs, the nice death vocals, and then again that sludgy undertone there. So,
Mhm.
are those the scenes that you are all from?
Um, n- None of this because
Really?
all this sound that came to me. I used to play more than 15 years a bass. I was a bass player in several bands like punk rock,
Oh,
stoner.
awesome! Yeah.
Last band was a horror punk band, 10 years.
Wow.
So I took a long break because some problems with my ears.
Yeah.
And so after that, it was Corona, and I discovered guitar playing, and I discovered metal. So I started and recorded some stuff. And at the beginning, as a one-man band, not with the aim to go play live, just do music and release stuff and have fun.
Yeah.
And after that, people came to me and said, "Hey, it's sludge, doom, and
Yeah.
whatever." So I'm more into that, and yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it is. It's I've said this so many times on the show, but it's the escapism that kind of horror art with a musical soundtrack, and it's just fun. It's just fun to do. Um, my ears certainly perked up when you mentioned horror punk. I'm a huge hardcore and punk guy as well, outside of metal. I mean, lots of famous German Deutsch bands, Rikers, for example.
Oh,
So
nice.
I thought, ooh, when I when I heard that,
Uh,
fantastic stuff. Um, so yeah, that certainly hits all the spots for me. Um, I love the video as well that you did for Inhumed to Forget. That really goes with the sound of the band. I just wondered how long did it take to shoot it? You know, to do the filming.
oh, that wasn't long. It was this summer, if I'm honest. It was something like, I don't know, 38 degrees.
Wow.
It was super hot,
Ugh.
and it took um, it took something like 3 or 4 hours, something like this.
Mm,
Because before that, before we started, we also a few days before we just planned everything, write down something like, uh, you know. Uh, how does it look like and stuff like this. So we started with some light white plan. So that's shorted the time then.
yeah, a good idea. I like the you see the shots of of a graveyard, and it
Yeah, yeah.
really, and it's good that it's in black and white because it really matches, I feel, the tone and the music,
Yes.
and it gives that horror vibe, but it's got atmosphere as well. I saw it almost like a classic kind of old school horror movie where it's got that suspense, the brooding atmosphere, the dark presence, and it, as I said, the pace of the band, it flows very nicely, even with the vocals. So I thought it was really well done and a good one for sure. Just jumping into your most recent album, which is Reversion of the Repressed.
Yes.
And the video for Inhumed to Forget, that's the opener on the album. Very dark lyrics, goes with this style. So I just wondered if you could tell us a bit about what inspired the title of the song and the lyrics as well.
This is also something like it's a concept album, yes. Reversion of the Repressed. That means all these thoughts that tortures you all the time. You have sometimes, just to let circulate your bad thoughts in your head. Then you reach the moment when they are gone and you are free, but they come back sometimes. Because in life you have things that triggers you and they come back, and that's why it's called Reversion of the Repressed. And if you are going through all the titles of the songs and all the lyrics about it's with all this art, all this name of this album, with the music and how is it recorded and mixed, I just was going through some heavy time of my life, because I had some hard times at my life, and making music and release the music was one thing how I started to go through these issues and learn to live with this. That was not my idea. People came to me and said, "Hey, do a music about it. Maybe it helps, And for me, it was like, I don't know. Maybe I will all the time be confronted with these topics all the time. But for me, really, it helps. I am able again to listen to songs again and just go further with a little smile.
Yeah. I can relate to what you're saying. I think the last few years have been hard on a lot of people. Well, on all of us, they certainly have. I've just stated the obvious there. And I think if people were already going through something difficult, COVID on top of that, the lockdowns made that even more harder. But I feel like you just said, and people were saying to you, write some music about it. I feel if you can do something creative, whether it's music or whatever, that helps. It helps channel those negative energies, the negative emotion. That's what I think is great about extreme music.
Yes. It channels, really. It channels. It helps to release all this rage, all this bad. Really, I never tried that kind of channeling or use it like a channel, because all the years it was like fun and have a good shows, have a party, but sometimes happens things in life, and then you are looking for some solutions how to go through these times, and this one was, and it helped, and but there are still other topics on new songs we recorded recently, so
we'll get to that. That's what I think is it's funny, because I think people sometimes who aren't fans of extreme music, whether it's hardcore or death metal, can be the most common one is, we can't understand the words, we can't understand the lyrics, it's just shouting, or how can you be so angry? And like, we're not. It's fun, but it's, as we said, it's channeling those negative emotions, and you do feel better if you go, oh yeah, you've got it out there. it's like a release, and I think, like you were saying, Gero, because it comes from a real place through real experiences, a real struggle. You can put those raw, authentic, real emotions into the music. It gives it that extra. Well, I would have put this more strength. Makes it stronger. You can really feel. You can really feel it.
Yeah, yeah.
I know there's a sense of, well, through experience you can get used to performing extra music, doing vocals, etc. Yes, of course, but you still have to put a certain amount of yourself into it, or you've got to think, well, what's going to inspire me, say, to get angry so I can shout, so,
Yeah,
or so I can growl? It's not going to be, well, I looked at that very picturesque, beautiful painting, and that made me angry. Well, it may do for some people, I don't know, but um, but yeah, moving on to I'm going to take us through each track on the EP, just for people out there who may not have heard you before. The next one, Winds from Throws. This is the lyrics as well. This is quite a deep song. I feel it's like
yes,
looking
it is.
inside yourself.
Yeah, it is. It's about like about the times when you go deep down in your
Mm,
own agony, depression,
mm,
and throes is also something like a similar word for agony,
yeah, yeah.
and that's it.
Yeah, no, but it's powerful stuff because, like what we've been discussing so far, people who are trapped in that state of depression, it can be really torturous, nightmarish, dark,
Mm.
uh, kind of like they're living in a psychological horror movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Not any not any person is able um, to reflect these moments, to do something like a reflection of these moments,
mm,
and to be what's it called, responsive on this, and um, yeah,
yeah,
to rise to the living again,
yeah,
real
yeah.
life. Not everybody is able to do this.
No, they're not.
To
Some
be
people,
resilient. That
yeah.
was the word I was looking for.
Yeah,
But
no, you're right. It's some people can sadly fall to it, and then that can
mm,
spiral into alcoholism, drug addiction, or another plethora of problems. Um, then moving on to final sanctification, um, and it's quite interesting with what you just said with how it's like coming to life again. I mean, the opening line, "New life brings me home." I feel it's kind of, in a lyrical sense, a bit
yeah,
of a follow-on sequel, like how this person has, I guess, has come to this new life in this
yes,
new state of existence. So, it is that what inspired Final Sanctification?
yes. It is
Mm,
something like this. It describes the way um, when you come out or come away from a big agony or depression, and you
mm,
release all this bad stuff, and you understand. Okay, this, I don't know, five things help me
mm,
now, and I'm fine again.
mm.
So that's why to yes,
Yeah, I do
something
like.
like to being rebirthed again.
Yeah, totally, and that's what I like in the description of the album as well. It says, raw nature and life itself, is a great inspiration for our music. The
Yes.
lyrics, kind of like autobi autobiographical. Yes, I nearly did struggle to pronounce that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't speak English. Don't worry about it. It's terrible. Northern barbarian, whole of the language.
Mm.
But I think, as we said, I think this gives something as well people to relate to. as we were saying
Yeah.
about channeling things in a positive way. Um, you can still make extreme music about other themes, other areas, and this is a prime example of that. It can still be heavy, dark, gritty, grimy, fantastic stuff. So oh man, this is a certainly dark themed one. Age of Resentment 2.
Oh yeah.
Goes one, a very very dark one.
Yeah, that was super dark.
Mm,
Still now you're telling the name. In German we
mm,
say, um, my hair is going like this because I can since now remember these moments as I
yeah,
wrote this song. It was in the time the Ukraine Krieg started. Is Ukraine
yeah,
pronounced in English, right?
yeah,
Ukraine.
yeah. Ukraine, yeah.
And it was like a, all my people around me, we are wondering because it was, we are, it's a modern world. What happened? No one was able to understand it. Also friends of mine wrote me, um, and then we flew to the main station and welcomed some refugees and so on, and helped them to be safe. And these times it was really hard for me. I didn't understand it because I can understand the situation because I come from the Yugoslavia war,
Yeah.
and I had to cry. 2 or 3 days. I was really fucking sad, and I wrote this song.
Yeah, it's
It's still if I'm honest, um, I was thinking about 1 week if I should release this song or not. Because I don't know. I don't want to do some renommee out of wars or something like this, but I don't know. Some anger should be taught.
yes, you
Should be heard.
yeah, it's yeah, it's to you use it in that positive way. Um I mean even
That's
now
the truth.
it is, and it's really hard to put into words. That's why I'm struggling with this, because it's so hard to understand, because like you said, we're in the modern world and this shouldn't be happening now. And now with what is happening in other parts of the world
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well, the Middle East, and it makes you feel like, are we all going backwards instead of forward? And
I really don't know.
yeah, it's really sad. It's really depressing.
Yeah,
I, this is how I try to put a bit of positivity out there with this
yeah,
show. I say, I don't care what background anyone is, what culture they are, what they believe in or they don't believe in.
yeah,
Is everyone is welcome on here. We'll talk about your music, your art, whatever it is they're making, instead of everyone kind of being divided. It's just trying to do something, I guess, even if it's only small. Um, and yeah, as you said, with hailing from, um, the Balkans, if I've got that right.
yes,
It's something that is certainly going to hit that chord with you, because you've been through that.
yeah,
A lot of punk and hardcore bands that I used to play on my radio shows, who were from Croatia, Serbia, places like that, and they would often write about their experiences they had from that time, and it's really harrowing stuff. But here's the thing: we've been talking about horror with death metal, sludge, and doom, and usually we're used to the horror themes that you would expect, like in a horror movie, the undead, and some sinister evil force, whatever, good versus evil, or this kind of thing. But if you take a step back here and look
yeah,
under the surface with these lyrics, well, this comes from a place, and is also, as you said, using that anger about something that is real horror, and that's what makes it more frightening, because it's not fantasy. It's not like a
Yes.
movie or a novel concept. This is something
Yes.
that has happened, you got experience of from your life, and now is sadly happening now, and it shouldn't be. And you would think in the time, like you said, the time we are now, that we would move past this. I just hope that there's just somehow some peace can come, and we can, hopefully this doesn't happen again.
And I
Yeah,
hope it's going to end in the
yeah,
next time. I hope, but I don't know. But to come back to this song, so
yeah,
we don't play it anymore live. We just played 2 times, and we
yeah.
decided not to play it anymore because the people started to cry.
Yeah, well, it's got that sadness in it, though, hasn't it?
And and I said, come on, we have to move a little bit away from all this sadness,
Yeah,
grief, and stuff, and which it describes our actual feeling at the
yeah,
moment, and
yeah.
not describes anymore. We are Our stuff still is going about these topics, but not so super sad
Yeah,
and triggery,
yeah.
and is more black metalish now. The new stuff
Mm.
that will come, maybe end of this winter. I don't know. We will see.
Yeah, it's funny, but well, there's some killer black and sludge bands. I only just talked to one on Saturday. Blackstaff,
Mm.
fantastic band. What's the other one? Dead Elephant, who I mentioned.
Mm.
To, or not sure, from Greece. Um, yeah, there's some real nasty black and sludge out there,
Mm.
for sure. Um, just before I move on to asking about the music you're working on at the moment, I just wondered, on Bandcamp you've got reversion of the repressed, available as Name Your Price. I just wondered why you made the decision to do that.
Just to give people to download the music
Mm,
only if they have no money or they have some little bit money. I don't care.
mm,
Um, if the idea was to make tons of money off of this, then I have to do another kind of music.
yeah,
This music is so irrational,
yeah,
irrational,
yeah,
not rational.
yeah.
So yeah, why not? It's something. It's a special kind of art, and um, also people who don't have so much money should have it. Also for a
Mm.
zero, $0.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's very, very honest, and obviously very generous. Then I was just curious about that. I do like some of the other influences as well that you mentioned. Some of these are fantastic bands. Got Ahab, Nails. Oh man,
Oh
Nails.
yes, yes.
Man, they're fantastic. And Convent, who, it's
Yeah.
funny, Convent. I remember before people knew them, I think they put a demo out a few years ago, and then they got signed, and now they're starting to get more well known. I think they're currently on tour in Mexico, I believe. I think they are.
Convent,
Convent, yeah,
all female band.
yeah, yeah, from
Oh yeah, they're
Denmark.
super great.
Yeah,
Yes, they're super great. Yes.
yeah, they're a
I, I
band.
s-
Sorry, go on, girl.
I don't care. I saw them live
Oh,
for 2 years in the nearest of our city here. That's good. That's really good.
oh, they are one band I want to see live. Great stuff. Yeah, when I saw that, and some of your other influence as well, and Conan, love that band as well. I thought, oh man, this is just hits all the right spots for me. Um, so when you are writing your music, we've talked about some of the difficult times that you've gone through in your life that has inspired your writing. What other areas inspire you creativity? Told you, English has escaped again. What other areas also inspires your creativity? Yay!
Okay. All right. Good question.
Mm,
If I'm honest, I don't listen too much metal because I get so influenced, and then I'm forced to start writing stuff, create new stuff. So I get safe with listening metal, but I love metal. During the days, I'm listening all the time something like ambient, dark drones
yeah, yeah,
playlists, something like this. And if I want to get inspired musically, I listen to all. If I'm honest, also old stuff, like
yeah,
Voltron, Asphyx, and so on, just to learn from them, learn these patterns, where to do breaks, where to do this and that, and it's really interesting. And other inspiration is like yeah, hiking in the nature. All the guys,
Oh
I'm
wow,
I'm glad to have these guys that they also love hiking because it's not
nice.
so modern sports. They
Yeah,
also love hiking. Also, we go hiking and talk about topics. And also the cover, I shoot that at the what is south of Vogez at France, um, on hiking. And one thing that nobody knows, and you are the first one, by swimming.
hey,
Yes, I'm swimming, and all this silence is perfect. I just focus, keep the lines, go forward and back, and this time focused on breathing. And after this, I'm working on new music in my head,
yeah, yeah.
and then I can fresh at home and write everything down. And yes,
Do you,
something like this. It's a
yeah,
combination of all from all of this.
but do you find then that gives you that sense of true freedom where you aren't, as you said, you're not. I know you're looking at some of those legacy bands there just to learn the patterns to see how they do things, but you haven't got any of the other external influences. You've got that pure, uh, unrestrained freedom of thought. You're in a quiet place, relaxed, whether it's hiking with the guys,
Yeah.
escaping nature, or swimming, and then you can think clearly, and then it just naturally comes into your mind. The reason I'm asking you this is because people have said similar things on the show. They've either gone running, or they've gone walking, or sat in a park, or sat near the ocean, something like that, just
Yeah.
to find a quiet moment in nature. And they've said that's how they've either patterns come in the mind, whether it's on drums, with the
Yeah.
guitars, or writing. It
Yeah.
seems to be quite a common theme I've noticed. Mm.
And also, yes, that is it. But also one also big thing or big driver is like experimenting for hours, for days. Um, Sometimes there's some songs I do it in 1 or 2 hours. Everything, drums, vocals, because it's there, in
Yeah.
my mind. But for some other songs, it took hours, days of experimenting, and I'm writing a lot of stuff and also throwing away a lot of stuff. So um, it helps me to learn playing guitar, getting more better, and yes,
Mm.
that's it.
And no, that's fantastic, man. It's who did the artwork for the album cover for Reversion of the Repressed? Because as we were just mentioning nature there, the cover it's got that kind of primal spin on nature.
Yes, it was Alfie Feoja
Mm.
is a good friend of mine from the city here from Karlsruhe. He's a designer, artist, musician. I don't know everything. His work is he's perfect. And I gave him the photo, the picture, and I gave him the logo and said, "Can you do something out of this? Something in gold, black stuff. I don't know that should look good at the end, and he did it then for me because I'm not so talented handling graphical
Me
software.
either. Oh, I suck. When I've had to do the basic banner design ever for anything, it's like I try and find a really nice font. If I can make the lettering at least look good, and it's like really basic. It kind of works if it's something, say, for a hardcore band or something, because you can say, right, go, all right, this has got like this raw,
Yeah.
really kind of skater feel to it, I guess. But outside of that, yeah, that's something I greatly struggle with too. The problem is because it's the patience, because I respect the time and dedication and the craft to make that art, but I haven't got the patience to do it myself because I get bored too quickly. I can be
Yeah.
sat there and I'm like, this sucks, man. This just isn't fun. I'm like, I could be doing something now, and that's the problem. Then I get impatient with it. Where if I probably could try and discipline myself to learn it, I would probably be okay. But it's something I've struggled with. It's like the people who do Warhammer 40,000 and the
Yeah.
tabletop war games. Look, I love that stuff as well. It's great, but I don't have the patience to sit there with the miniatures, painting for hours, spraying.
Yes. Yes.
They spend hours and hours, and look, yeah, the artwork is fantastic. All that stuff is great, but I'm like, can't you just like play the game? It's like, no, everything has to be painted. It has to be this uniform. Like, no, I don't have like a week to spare sitting there going,
Yeah.
oh man, it's just.
Same to me, man. Same to me. But there are tons of people. They are catched by all these sliding mini
Yeah.
figures. What's it called? Toys.
Yeah.
And love to paint them. So that's
Yeah.
it. Why not?
Yeah. I mean,
it also gives you your relaxed time.
It does. The artwork is fantastic. I think if I ever did that again, I would probably commission a painter to do it for me. Say, there you go, knock yourself out. Get back to me in a week. then, yeah. Anyway, back to your music. So, you mentioned that you were working on some new material. I think you said you were going to bring in some slightly different elements with the music. So, what are those elements? I think you mentioned some black metal coming
Yes, it will or should go more in a direction like something like blackened dead doom,
in. Yeah.
Little less sludge, maybe. I don't know. Sludge is really a big area. There will be some sludge moments too, but yeah, and more dissonance, more disharmonies, and something like this. I don't know. I really like it. I learned to love it. Last times. Like bands like Nightmare or A Best or yeah, maybe Tool. I don't know. I just started to do the stuff little bit complicated, little bit maybe modern. I don't know. We will see.
Is that what you like to do, Gero, with the music? Is add in those different elements and keep it changing, or just play how you feel and just see what happens?
Yeah. The first songs on the first EP was like doing what it comes through the soul and my fingers, and now it's like more like, okay, now I want to do exactly this, and I'm working on this because I want to learn how to play this, how to write the drums, how to set the right moment where should be sung and which word fits at this moment, and so on. And yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering, with you playing your instruments and your voice, etc. Is it the hiking that helps keep you in shape and fit and keep your body conditioned?
No. Besides that, so for sure, I'm doing sports. To go,
Mm.
as I said, hiking, and you also have to take care of what you get for food.
Yeah, definitely.
And every day I'm stretching, doing a little bit yoga, go out and a little bit jogging, stuff like this, and trying to drink something like one beer a week or something like this.
Yeah. I know you Germans like your beer, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The beer in Bavaria, it's especially in North Bavaria, is for me the best. I'm not really a beer drinker, yes,
Yeah.
but I will travel to drink beer from North Bavaria.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember I was chatting to they're also from Germany, Deaf Aid. It was pretty much my first episode, I think. It was around about the first or second episode. And I think during the show, or was it just after, they had lots of beers there already, which was quite amusing. So lyrically, and I know we don't want to give too much away about the next release, but lyrically in the themes, is it going to be quite similar to Reversion of the Repressed or something very different?
The topics are really similar. Yes, there will be more anger and rage, and and also there will be topics like some issues that me or the band had to go through Corona, like some health stuff, like
Yeah.
like some breathing issues, and then you will see, you will hear the stuff, and I hope you will enjoy it.
Sure will, man. It'd be interesting to hear. As I say, I like the combination of death, doom, and sludge that you have in the music mixed with the rawness as well. I know you have a show coming up soon, very soon. In fact, no, I just realized you just played it to mine about very soon. At a very aptly named venue, Valhalla Metal Club. Well, there's a metal name for a place to play at. So, were there loads of Vikings there then cheering you on?
Maybe, I don't know. It is in Cologne.
Yeah.
This Friday on the 4th.
Yeah,
of
coming up.
November,
Yeah,
I guess. And it's a good mixture. It's the one band is called Tiguani. They do something like super slow atmospheric black metal. Then is Tristis. It's like more like screamo, doom, death, sludgy. Yeah. Then we had as headliner, and Valhalla. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe these are some inspirations from some metal metal kinds. I don't know. You also have Viking metal, but
yeah.
I don't think that there's the older guys are looking like Vikings, and
Yeah.
I think it will be everything there in any kind of people and races and cloths. Maybe only Vikings. I don't know.
Yeah. I apologize as well because I read that wrong. I thought you'd already played. My mind went totally haywire. I thought it was the 11th of November today, and it's not. So I thought, and then I realized, oh no, you haven't played that venue yet. But yeah, there's a great name for sure, Valhalla Metal Club. I know maybe Odin decided to come down and thought, right, I need to set up a club so these bands can play at. I know. I guess you'll soon see. Do you have any new merchandise coming soon as well? You've got some fantastic shirts up on the on the Bandcamp, where people
Thank you,
can.
man.
Oh, you're very welcome. Bitte schön, where people can order the shirts, etc. I just wondered, do you have any new merchandise coming soon? What's going to support the new album as well?
Yes, we have two designs for the shirts, and also a bag and the very first tape. As I said, I'm working on the new album that will be released digitally, and if we're lucky, there will be a label that will release it physically, something like tapes or CDs. And merch, of sure, there will be also some suitable new shirt design or long sleeve for the new big album.
That's great stuff. I've got to ask, we did talk about this before we went live, but just for those who are tuning in now, because just I'm such a nerd and I love skating as well. In the background, folks, you can see Gero has some beautiful skateboards on his wall with some fantastic artwork. So again, for people, could you just tell us a bit about where you got them from and who did the artwork, because they are really special.
All right. There is a little company in Düsseldorf, and they're called Rebel Rockers. It's a skateboard company and shop, and you can order them there. I am not sure if they're still available, but maybe another designs. And I like it, this combination, like pure nature, wood, and this black stuff, like like celebration of any satanic stuff.
What's the one on the far right looks like, because I can't quite see that as clearly as the other two. Is that Medusa by any chance on the far right?
Which one?
The right on the far right. That one.
Yes, it's like a woman with snakes in the head,
I
holding a pack of skulls.
I wondered if it was Medusa.
Like Medusa, you know?
Yeah. I wondered that. Oh no, those are awesome.
Yeah, that's good. That was the first one that I saw, and then I saw that there are two, another one, and so I put it on the wall.
Yeah, those are great, man. I love the all the different artwork you can get on skateboards that they do. It's really great stuff. Do you like skating then? Are you a skater?
Not mainly, but mainly I am BMX rider.
Yeah. Oh man,
for
awesome.
20 years, yes.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, and so you'll be a fan of the X Games then, I would imagine.
Well, no, that's fun watching all the stuff, but with the years and with all the accidents, I just do it to stay healthy, and because I have to take care of my hands and fingers now,
Yeah, for play, yeah.
If I break fingers or something like this, then I'm not able to play show. So I just go out and do some stuff just to stay healthy,
Yeah. That's the injuries you can get from skating, BMX riding, any of those extreme sports are incredibly brutal as well. And it's one of the most painful ways you learn when you're doing the tricks as well. There's no you can't avoid it. They'll often say, well, how it's just it's just experience. You have to take those knocks.
Everybody who starts skateboarding, BMX or whatever extreme sports, the first thing the people say is, hey, you have to learn to fail.
Yeah.
And you have to learn how to fail, because if you don't learn it, you will break bones all the times or whatever. And you have to learn to fail. You have to learn how to practice, keep practicing by failing after failing, and it hurts. Yes, it's like tattooing, all the stuff.
Yeah,
it hurts.
It
but
really.
It's a really. It's I don't know. It's catharsis, man. If I go BMX riding at a skate park or with a guy street riding, I'm 44 now. If you know, but all the time like 16, you know.
Yeah, there's something. You know, we were talking earlier about your writing. You mentioned, you know, hiking, going out there in nature. It's the same feeling when you're skating or BMX riding. There's something free about it, and it's just you're releasing all that stress, all negative emotions, and it's fun and rewarding as well, especially when you can pull off one of the tricks that you'd failed
Yes,
at.
yes,
And it's just such a great sense of escapism. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. And I found it so fascinating when I'm watching people skating on a half pipe,
yes,
doing all the stunts. The same in the winter X Games when people
yeah,
are snowboarding, doing the same. Yeah, it's such awesome stuff and goes hand in hand with our music as well.
yeah,
Hardcore, death metal, everything.
yeah.
Fantastic stuff. So I'm getting nerding away as usual. I will try and behave myself a little here. So I wondered as well, what do you enjoy about playing in Greh compared to the other bands that you previously played in?
um, in the bands previously, I just was the bass player guy,
Mm.
and that's it, or maybe the manager or something like this. And Greh is I don't know. It's a big piece of me, you know.
Yeah,
Also, my idea was to do all by by myself, you know, everything at
yeah,
the beginning, and it keeps still some like this. That I mean, that is everything is done by myself, but at the moment it's more like 80% because the other 20% comes from Martin vocals and Mono the drums, and these guys are really wonderful. It was a really long wait and a lot of work to find them and and make them to love what I'm aim to do.
yeah,
And it, they started to love all these things from the first moment, and I'm really lucky that I found these guys. And at the moment, yeah, that's it. Because I'm composing the music, I'm writing everything down, and for me was for me was this was the way how everything is. I'm searching for a special word to describe this. You know, it's natural, human. It's authentic. You know,
yeah, yeah,
it's a way. It is authentic because I also was thinking about okay, just should I do maybe something like I don't know evil satanism stuff or whatever, you know what I mean, any fantastic stuff. But no, I have no link to this, you know. I have
yeah,
link to me on all my topics and my issues, and so that's the
yeah,
difference to all other bands. And the another thing is to go out from your comfort zone, you know. I was the lazy bass player, and now I have to learn playing guitars,
yeah,
learn to handle all this stuff with guitars, down tuning, um, to learn all this gear for metal,
yeah,
metal drumming, and all this stuff to be metal. Because before that was all like punk rock, horror punk, stoner stuff, rock, jazzy stuff, and that's always something like, you know, it uses always the same patterns here and there. So I don't
yeah,
want to be rude at this time at this moment. And metal is more freedom. It's more it says, hey, do it. There are some kinds how you can technically play stuff, but you can combine it in the way you want. And if it
yeah.
sounds great, then that's it.
No, that makes perfect sense because metal is. I know there's different genres in other music, of course there is, and with subgenres, and there's lots of them. But I think metal, out of all music, has so many subgenres. It's insane. It keeps
Yes, that's
evolving
true.
all the time. That there's a new subgenre coming up. You know, we've had the whole electro crossover in recent years as well,
Mhm.
and it keeps evolving. So, but that is a good thing. How it's not limited, and as you said, you can do that expression. And you touched on you could have done the usual common horror themes, you know, evil and everything metal, but you've gone for no, we want to do something a bit different. Yes, there's the horror Asiatic is in the music, but it's drawn from life experiences and things that are
Yeah.
happening. So that's more relatable. And there's I've noticed, and I've talked a lot of guests have talked about this with me on the shows. There seems to be a movement away from using the kind of traditional like good versus evil, etc. And I think
Yes, yes, yes.
maybe I'm not hating on any of those bands. I'm not saying they're bad musicians or that I don't like any myself. I think maybe people are just getting sometimes just a little bit tired of it and are wanting that
Yeah.
bit of a difference thing, not again. And then sometimes thinking, yeah, man. If someone has faith in that, well, what's it matter, man? People are people, and we all should treat each other accordingly, how we would want to be treated. I only mentioned this, I think, to is it possibly on the Black Staff show, like with black metal, you've got the whole now cosmic black metal, which is
Yeah, yeah,
more
yeah.
Lovecraftian sci-fi based, and I think that's a good thing instead of all the usual and all of that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It starts to get boring. So it's always nice if you can add something different or go down a different theme. It can still be heavy, dark,
Yes,
extreme.
yes.
I mean, hell, life is painfully enough. So if you're ever short of inspiration, it's just yay, just get a step outside, I guess. I want to give a shout out again to the folks who were tuned in. Greatly appreciate it, y'all. If you ever want to pop any questions for any of the guests, feel free to do so in the chat, and I can ask away. So, are you? I know you mentioned you're playing other bands as well, Stuart. I just wondered, are you currently playing in any of the bands, or are you just solely focused on? And I'm going to pronounce this correctly now, Greh.
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 Yes, yes. It comes from my Yugoslavian, or better to say Macedonian origin,
Mm,
and it's like it means something like heavy dark zin, a
mm,
thing that you never have to do, you are not allowed to do. So it's more like um, just cheating everything what is doing with religion.
mm,
you know it's like, okay, now I'm zinning,
mm,
so fuck off.
mm,
That's meaning of this
mm,
Greg.
mm. So yeah, it fits the whole kind of like as we were saying, the horror, dark vibes, and everything
Yes, yes.
concept. Yeah, they're very interesting, man. Well, I do want to thank you for coming on the show with me today, man. It's been great to talk to you. Um, Thank you for showing us the skateboards as well. That immediately drew me. Being a skater, I was like, "Oh, nice!" Got hyper about that, folks. I will put all the links for Greh. I'm going to make sure I get that pronounced correctly, especially for next time I talk to you.
Was good, man.
Um, Thank you, man. I'll keep practicing though. Yeah, I'll put all the links for Greh in the description, y'all. So please go and support the music. Check them out. If you love Death Doom, Old School Death, and Sludge all fused together, you will certainly dig this band for sure. So definitely go and peep them. Everybody have a good day wherever you are. I shall see you on the next episode of Fed Up, which is tomorrow with Imperium, who are from the UK, kind of a mix of traditional heavy metal with a bit of thrash as well. We'll be back at similar time. Danke dir. I nearly said Greh then. I was thinking, Danke dir, Gero, for joining me. It's been great to talk to you, man. And I'm going to do the familiar trait now where hit end stream and I look like I'm momentarily gone crazy because I'm kind of holding a pause as I look for, has the stream ended? So let's do this.